All right, so let's start off by clearing something up. Small talk isn't small at all. It's actually very strategic. In fact, it's one of the most underrated conversion tools in all of real estate. It's not just the space between the hello and the close. And the unfortunate reality is that too many people in the real estate field and other sales fields, well, to be honest, they treat small talk like filler when in fact, it's the moment that tells your client, hey, look, I see you, I hear you, and most importantly, I'm here to serve you. And for that reason, in this video, we're skipping the fluff and we're diving right into the framework. This is actually the framework that too many in the world of sales are missing. So let's walk through how to turn everyday conversation into high conversion connection. Because confidence is actually earned by doing the thing. So let's do it. Now, if you're actually here to convert, if you're here to actually build trust, and if you're serious about being a guide, not just another salesperson, then small talk isn't small at all to you. It's actually everything. You see, small talk is your gateway to every tool, tip, need, desire, and ultimately reason for your client's next move. Small talk is your gateway to discovering your client's value diamond facet. And that's a very important aspect of the profitable persuasion method, which is a core system we teach within my company, Shift Immersive Coaching. Like any building though, understanding and success begins with a strong foundation. So there's three primary reasons that small talk actually matters the most in sales. And that's gonna help you build that foundation. So let's go over those three. First, small talk has the ability to build immediate rapport. We know that oftentimes within sales, there's just an air of resistance. And our goal is to prevent that resistance before it ever shows up. And in order to do this, you've got to create a foundation of what the experience will be like. And you've got to do it right away. So what you want to do is you want to ensure that you actually engage casually. You don't want to confuse this with engaging nonchalantly. It's not the same thing. There's a difference. Think of it this way. Casually care. Care about your client. And the simplest way to not only do this, but share this is by asking real questions. Ask more, talk less, listen intently. That's your first step. Now, second, you got to understand that small talk opens the door for the value diamond. And like I mentioned, we use the value diamond to identify what someone values and ultimately what's making them make their next move. Look, is it based on something personal? Is it based on health, wealth, leisure, or maybe faith? These aren't surface level wants. I'm talking about their actual why, the why that shows up in how they talk casually. It's the why that shows up when they don't feel like they're being interviewed. Instead, simply holding a conversation with someone they can actually trust. Ultimately, with someone whose opinion they value. This is about being more than a transactional agent. It's about creating a connection and ultimately a relationship. Now, third, you got to understand small talk positions you as an empathetic expert, not just a closer. This really, it brings us back to connections. You see, people want to buy with confidence, and confidence comes from being guided by someone who actually understands what matters most to them, not just someone who wants to close another deal. Being transactional will simply never yield the same results as actually caring. I mean, that's just the reality to it. Sure, you may close a deal, but then you'll end up never getting a call back because there's no real connection and in turn, no real reason to call you for the next sale. Look, when you master small talk, what you're really doing is mastering the art of getting to your client's real why. Ultimately, before they even say it out loud. All right, so let's move from concept to action. Here are 4 tactical strategies I use every single time I connect with a potential client. Strategy 1, start with intentional curiosity. When you're starting, any type of small talk, don't default to things like weather or sports, unless it ties into the client's actual story. But remember, this isn't about you. So instead, start with something like, so what's your experience been so far? Or maybe something like, okay, help me understand what's got you thinking about moving right now. I thought you loved your, and then finish that sentence. It's about basic yet powerful prompts that encourage rapport, deeper thought, disarming delivery, and inviting communication. The thing is, if you're really here for connection, then you've got to understand that just the reality is it doesn't only matter what you say, but it matters how you say what you say. What you're doing is shifting from transaction to connection. You're creating a space that says, you matter here. And the reality is, in sales today, especially real estate, where the average person knows at least 8 real estate agents, too many are transactional. When all a client really wants is to know, and listen, I said know, not hope, but know that they can trust you. Let's go to strategy number 2. Strategy number 2 is label and validate their perspective. Once someone opens up, you need to label it. So try something like this. So Mike, is it me or does it sound like you've been through a lot already? Or maybe do something like this. Goodness, that sounds frustrating. Look, one creates a simple question agreement, something that allows you to just lob up an easy answer question that the client can agree with while not having to question their answer. The other actually creates a statement of agreement, allowing the client to almost cut you off in agreement. Ultimately, you've got 2 different that's right moments that you're creating with both of those statements. When you label their experience, you end up validating their journey. And that's where connection moves from happening to deepening. It's not just about being relatable, it's about being real. So don't focus more on being the answer when what the client really wants is for us to be focusing on helping them find their answer. Now let's move to strategy number 3. Use the Shift Immersive Coaching Buyer Conversion SOP in disguise. This is a move from one of the SOPs we teach at Shift Immersive Coaching that most people miss. So I want you to say something like this. Right around this stage, here's what a lot of my clients run into. And then just break down your system without making it about you. Explain the next event in a way that helps the client. Again, not you. Ultimately, here's how you guide someone through it. You say things like, here's what the next step looks like. Listen, here's what the next step looks like. Seems super simple, but what it does is it tells the client where we're going next. They don't have to guess, they don't have to wonder, they don't have to question. You're not selling, you're leading. And leadership creates safety, which drives conversion. Let's hit strategy number 4. Move from casual to consultative with confidence. This is actually where the transition happens. You shift from small talk to value talk, and here's how. You see, most people in your position tell me that they're unsure whether to wait or to move. And based on what you shared, I don't know, would it be helpful if I broke down the paths that get you to where you want to go the fastest? And listen, that's a pivot. That's where they actually stop seeing you as a stranger or even the person they thought they knew, and they start seeing you as the means to helping them find their solution. So let's wrap this up with one more golden nugget. Let's quickly cover sales techniques that win. We're gonna end up doing this with a little framework you can use today called TALK. T. T stands for tone sets trust. You see, the tone you set matters, and it matters more than the words you use. So I want you to stay calm, I want you to stay grounded, and I want you to stay confident, because tone tells your client, look, you're safe here. Remember, how you say what you say matters. A, ask then listen. Hear me on this. Stop selling. Stop freaking selling. Start asking, and then shut up and listen. The person who listens the best leads the conversation. This is a key element to our profitable persuasion method framework. And then you have L, label then lead. Validate their experience, then guide them forward. Something like this. Look, it sounds like this process has felt pretty overwhelming. Let me simplify it for you. Now guys, when you say something like that, it's not persuasion, it's actually partnership. It's I hear you and I'm here to help you. And then you have K, keep it client focused. Remember, it's not about you. Everything you say should loop back to their world, not yours. Use invite language. An example of this would be, most people I work with feel, and then fill in the blank. Or what would it look like if we got you from A to B with less stress and much more clarity? Look guys, when you make it about them, they'll want to make it happen with you. I mean, simply put, you're only the star of your own show. If you want to connect with someone, then learn to be the supporting cast member in their episode. Here's what I need you to remember. Small talk is your pre-close. It's where trust is earned, alignment is created, and objections start to disappear before they're ever even spoken. The difference between being a salesperson and a truly trusted guide is small talk. It lives in how you talk small to win big. And always remember, I say it every time, confidence is earned by doing the thing. So now, let's do the thing. Go out, connect, and close with care. Let's do this. I'll see you on the next one.